Welcome to the Prescott Home Value Report through June 2025, brought to you by the Prescott Pickle Lady, Diane Bro Realtor. As you can probably tell, I am not the Pickle Lady. That's me in the bottom right-hand corner. My name is Randall, and the Pickle Lady has authorized me to show you the following slides. As always, starting with City of Prescott median sales price per square foot. A whole lot of no change over from May to June. We're still running about 3% under last year. That red line still looks pretty flat to me, as the blue line did the year before. Not a whole lot of bouncing around. Yeah, I guess you could say, we're 3% lower than last year. That's not a whole lot, and I don't know if it's all that significant. We'll see if it holds, but that's kind of where we're hanging out. So basically the same result as last month when it comes to transactions. Last year we had a bunch of shucking and jiving, up and down, up and down. This year it's been a lot more steady. Last month we had about the same amount of transaction volume as we did last year. This month, we're a little lower, just like we did in April. We had a pop up, now we had a pop down. It looks to me like our transaction volume is trending up a little bit, kind of gently. So maybe July, last year kind of bounced down. Maybe we'll bounce above it next year. But the reality is 100 transactions a month in Prescott. That's not bad. So we're a pretty healthy market. So is it a buyer's market, a seller's market? Well, the way that we answer that question is with our pending ratio analysis. So the way it works is when we ran these numbers, there were 820 units of inventory on the market. Of those, 127 of them were already pending. Well, 127 is 15% of 820, so our pending ratio is 15%. If you look up 15% in our handy-dandy color chart, you'll see that that is a strong buyer's market. So we've seen extreme buyer's market a couple of times over the last year or so. Most of the time it's strong. Sometimes it's just a buyer's market, but it's clear that buyers have the advantage in this market as we speak. If you break that out by price point, you get a chart that looks something like this. Let me walk you through it. So these blue bars down here, that is transaction volume. So that is the number of homes that are sold in that price point. So you see in Prescott, we don't have a whole lot going on, 300s and below, and we kind of come up. Our median sales price is like $650. It's like up in here somewhere, although it doesn't look like that in this chart. But anyway, that's typically where we are right now. A lot of homes, a lot of volumes up in the very high end. So I might do a luxury report at some point to investigate what that's all about. And then in each of these price points, we calculate the pending ratio in that price point. This is very flat. Usually what you'll see is in the lower price points, it'll be more of a seller's market and it kind of angles off to the right. But for the last several months, this curve has been very, very flat. All kind of in the strong buyer's market except for 1,000,001. That is an extreme market. And then it bounces up to a strong buyer's market for 1.2 million and above. How long does it take for a house to sell in Prescott? It takes about 7 months to get to a contract. So that's 210 days from the moment that you put it on MLS until till you get a contract. And then it takes about a month and a third for it to close, 38 days. That's a little high. Usually it's just 30 days, right around 30 days is typical. It bounces around depending on how quickly those escrows are. If you get a lot of contingencies, it pushes it out. If you got a lot of cash offers, it pushes it down. So from start to finish, 8 months, 7 months of which you are out looking for a contract. Turning now to the city of Prescott Valley. A whole lot of no change yet again. We are technically 1%. This is the median sales price per square foot. We are 1% higher than last year. I would call that neck and neck. And it has been that way since April, so a whole lot of no change is the way I would describe that. In terms of volume, we had a little bit of a dip. We had a dip last year. We had a dip this year. We were doing just a little below in terms of transaction volume, a little below what we're doing, what we did last year. But it went down last year in June, went down a little further in June this year. So we're still a little bit below where we were last year. In terms of negotiating power, right now we are also at a strong buyer's market in Prescott Valley. We had 366 units of inventory, and that's about 53 were pending. That's about 14%. So that is a strong buyer's market. Breaking it out by price point, we see not a whole lot of very high-end homes out in Prescott Valley. As this kind of looks like this looks more like a smiley face than a downward trending curve. 300s, 400s, those are more of a seller's market, but it's still in buyer's market territory. Time was you'd see those up in this area, and you would see the 800s kind of down where they are now. So this market has gotten even more of a stronger buyer leaning. I think last month we were getting closer to a balance. I think we're just kind of in the buyer's market, but not a lot of pending stuff right now. So inventories are high, and it's more of a buyer's market. In fact, in a lot of the price points, we're seeing extreme buyer's market. How long does it take for a home to sell? 149 days from MLS until contract, until you get a contract, and then it takes a little less than a month to close, so 5.8 in total. All right, so here are the highlights. In Prescott, we're at $332 per square foot. That is a month over last month, but 3% lower than last year. So we had a little bit of an improvement from last month, but it improved last year as well. So we're still at -3. In Prescott, the median price per square is $300. So about 10% less. That is exactly what we had last month, and about 1% higher than what we had last year. In terms of volume, we're just shy of 100 units. That is 6% higher than last year, which is about 6 units, but down 14% from last year. In Prescott Valley, we're down 23% from last month, so a big change in Prescott Valley in transaction volume since last month, and we're running about 19% lower than last year. Inventories are getting to just about, pre-COVID levels. 820 in Prescott, 366 in Prescott Valley. These numbers together should be about 1,200. That's about a typical month before COVID. We have been far lower than that for quite some time. Now these inventory levels are getting right about where they used to be before COVID. So we're finally kind of recovering from COVID, at least in terms of our inventory. Now, inventories have been low, but it has still been a buyer's market. Now that inventory is getting higher, you might see that go to strong buyer, extreme buyer's markets as the pending ratio. That's having more and more inventory on the market will make those pending ratios lower. So that's going to be more and more of a buyer's market. So buyers, this is a good time to buy. Come on over. We'll show you some homes. Months to contract, 7 months. That's a little less than almost half a month faster than last month. And Prescott Valley is going in the opposite direction. 5 months to contract. That's about a month higher than it was last month. Look, if you like this kind of stuff, we got lots more for you in the Prescott Home Value Report. This is just a summary. We go into specific subdivisions and just a whole bunch of stuff. So lots of slicing and dicing. So I would encourage you to download that report and get it in full. We update this report every month, but it is not the only report we do. We also have what we call the Appraiser's Eye View, which is the last 6 months of the latest comps. And it's broken out by subdivision. In fact, Prescott Lakes, we break it out by neighborhood. So it's very, very detailed. This is an example of what you'll see in the chart. This would be a subdivision. It is sorted by price per square foot, the number of months that it took the home to sell, square footage, the year it was built, how many stories, how many acres, and whether the listing agent is reporting the home having a view or not. Using this, you can look at all the different comps that occurred. You can see the average down here. So using this, it's a really good tool to figure out what you should be paying for a home or where you might want to price a home that you are selling. So a really cool tool. We even have a video which goes through how to use this information to come up with value estimates for homes. We do a whole lot of tools like this, all of them really very cool for both buyers and sellers. And one thing I should point out is you can't get these from any place else. These are exclusive. You can only get them from the Prescott Pickle Lady. And all of this is part of our page. We call it Prescott by the Numbers, or more commonly, the Pickle page. So if you're on the Pickle page, you know the Pickle page. But if you're not the Pickle page, well, you should get to the Pickle page. And you do that by subscribing. We update it every month. If you subscribe, we will send you a monthly email update with the link so you can go download all the reports that you want. Even if you're not all that interested in getting every single month, just having access to these tools will give you a real leg up when it comes to the real estate game. I hope you found this informative and maybe slightly entertaining, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Please take a moment to look below and find the button that'll take you to the Pickle page. We'll see you there.